Welcome to a special edition of ESB Outspoken with Angela and Richard Schell. Today we're going to be tackling a more difficult subject, the coronavirus. As you can imagine, with all that's going on and talking about the travel bans and the fact that our industry, we are sending speakers and clients from location to location and often around the globe, it's obviously impacting our business. And so we've had a lot of speakers and clients and other bureaus reach out because of our position in the industry and ask what we're seeing, how it's impacting us, and what we see in the future. So we thought we would compile some of those questions and do a session.
A little Q&A
session so that we can go through the questions and answers so that more of you can see how we see it impacting us and what we see in the future. So I'm just going to start, Richard, with a general question. How do you see the coronavirus impacting the speaking industry as of today?
That's a great place to start, Ange. The coronavirus has really mostly been impacted with global events.
Right.
What we're seeing is events that are hosted outside the United States that have attendees from a lot of different countries are the ones that we're seeing any cancellation on or impact with. Every so once in a while, there will be a US-based one that is being canceled, but for the most part, where that's happening is where there's a high percentage of international attendees that have to travel to the US for the event.
Exactly.
And that's mostly what we're seeing right now.
So are you seeing any complete US-based events with all US attendees? Are you seeing those being impacted at all?
It's very rare at this point.
And are you seeing any new business come in? Is that taking a dip, the new business that's coming in?
That's the amazing thing. Actually, yesterday was one of our best days ever as far as new leads that came into our business. It was absolutely fabulous. And it's incredible. People are wanting to still plan their events. And what's interesting is we also have a lot of existing clients who are heads down, just acting like nothing has occurred, and they are treating it as if this is just a normal situation.
Which is great. The events that are being impacted, what would you say percentage-wise that you're seeing is events that are being impacted or canceled right now?
About 3 to 5% of the events are. We don't know whether that percentage will change. But right now that's where it's at, and I think as long as we continue to manage things as we are here within the United States, it shouldn't change too much from there.
And what's happening with those events? Are they just being totally canceled, or are they trying to reschedule later?
Oh, the events that are being canceled?
Yes, the ones that are being canceled, are they planning to postpone, or are they just trying to bring in the speaker later, or what's happening with those events?
Almost all of them are trying to bring in the speaker later. They're either postponing the event and redoing that event again, or they're just having another opportunity where they can have their primary speakers come back in for it. So that's the normal thing, and we're trying to do a good job of working with them when they have that requirement.
Have you seen anybody ask for Skype meetings or webinars? Have you seen that in the last month or so?
People are talking about that a little bit, but it's more rare just because the attendees are so spread out.
Right.
And the speaker's in a different location than the attendees are in a different location than the event.
Right.
So because of that, it's more rare, but it is a solution, and people are talking about it a little bit.
And what about, are you having clients ask about putting this into their contracts?
Yes, there have been some requests with that, and we are handling those one at a time. We feel like it's so important for us to be empathetic to their situation, understand where they're coming from, and try to be there for them. So sometimes that just involves us helping them with a reschedule, and sometimes it involves us maybe working with them on a contract. And where it makes sense, I think we should help them with their contracts.
That sounds great. What do you see as far as how long do you think that's going to impact our industry? Do you think it's going to be something that's short term, or do you think we see a long-lasting impact of this?
No, based on what we're seeing from China, because China's our best example at this point. And for those of you who've been following it, there's about 90,000 cases of the coronavirus overall. 80,000 of them are in China. What we've seen in China already, there's more recoveries and infections, and China's already getting back towards normalcy. Not 100% there yet, obviously, but they're opening factories again. And because they're doing those kind of things, we can tell that there is an end in sight. And so I think we have to expect that things will be a little different for us over the next couple months or so. But I think that there will be an end to this pretty quickly. I think it's a blip.
That's great. Are you seeing any impact on the speaker side that they're afraid to travel right now, or that they're not wanting to go?
I mean, for speakers, there has not been a speaker yet that has said, I'm not going to want to go and travel to a location. If there's not a travel ban on it, that speaker's headed there. They want to meet their commitments to the clients. And I would toss one thing in just to, related to the coronavirus, because I think it's important for us to stress this and all this, because there's a lot of fear and panic. But one of the things people have to understand is the coronavirus is not a death sentence. What we're seeing from China, 2.3% death rate. Now that's a lot of that are people that already had some underlying health conditions below that. And that rate is so much lower than some of the other illnesses that have put a scare into our society, like SARS, which was almost 10%. So it's not a death sentence. People are recovering from this, right, and they're recovering pretty quickly.
And it sounds like a lot of people don't even know that they have it.
Yeah, there's people who don't even know that they have it, and the results we're seeing are very similar to flu.
Right.
So I think that's all very positive as well.
I think so too. So overall, tell us what your thoughts are on the industry.
It's a great question. Obviously, we're going to have a little bit of a blip right now, a little dip. We're still doing events, we're still booking events, but it's going to be a little less than we have. But this year has been such a positive year, and the last year, 2019, was such a big year for our industry, that I still see this as being a growth year for us. Even with the blip that'll be here, I think 2020 is going to be great for us, for our other bureau partners, as well as the speakers who are out there as well.
Which is great news. So I know that everybody listening will be glad to hear that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And we don't want to not say that we're not taking this seriously. As you led in, which was so great at the beginning, we are taking this situation so seriously. But we feel like us in the industry, people turning to us, that we need to be level-headed, and we need to not get caught up in the panic, but get caught up in the facts. And I think that's the most important thing for us at this point.
The facts, and then how we're going to help our clients and the speakers, and what we can do as an industry to make it better.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, thank you, Richard, and I appreciate this, and I know everybody out there will appreciate your answers, and you be outspoken.
Yes.